Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Previously, I completely forget what we did last time. Right, so you have to understand, I may have recorded the previous video yesterday, relatively speaking, but in between that, I think I played Starfield, like, for 12 hours. It just came out. What is time? I can only think of space. And man, shoot, I wasn't even done with my playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Too much going on. Anyway, I think, yeah, we're here in, Nicolina's room while she's out speaking with the captain, and we can look around. Her pet has escaped the suitcase, so let's be very careful, shall we? There are just a few books on the desk. Nothing else by the looks of it.
Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all.
That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read.
Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading.
Books written in Russian. I saw that coming. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that.
It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that.
All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one.
Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though.
It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase.
Didn't she just say she never wanted to ballet again? I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage.
Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know. Yeah, 100% I think that a big old wave rocked the ship, knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray.
Yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Buria's rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean.
I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. It's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine.
I just hope Seaman Stroganov doesn't find it and throw it overboard.
Oh, yes, so do I. Not.
I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket.
Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san, it's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly, we have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
Come on.
Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, A friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? It's right behind me, isn't it? No.
Naruhodo-san, are you there?
Sorry, I'm right here, yes. Why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home.
Woo! Damn! Prim and proper my ass. She's a murderer. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes.
I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. There's one of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin, too.
Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist.
She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug, too.
No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. So that's twice now. Both the cord in this room and Kazuma's room have been run, but no employee or servant or whatever, no one's come to check on the resident here. This reeks of tampering. So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door.
Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
Maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. Anyway, last night Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator.
What's that?
Whoa. Hey now, I didn't even get to look at the bag in the corner. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile for. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. Uh-oh.
What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship.
What?
I can't stand.
Susato-san. Wag! Susato-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all?
I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruhodo-san.
The shelf is all capsized again. Looks like we avoided a collision.
I think...
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruhodo-san? Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. Hold on a second. No way. All right, okay. I just noticed something huge. I rolled a successful perception check. Natural 20. As we were just now looking around this room, examining things, I looked at the door. Well, with my eyes, I mean. Just my eyes. And I saw that the lock, the sliding bolt that you slide to lock and unlock the door, I noticed it was unlocked. I was like, oh, geez, anyone could walk in here at any moment. But now we have this ship taking an emergency turn, and as you can see from the bookcase, everything fell over to the left. And also, this door is now locked. The sliding bolt has slid to the left, just like the books did. I need to take another look at the door in Kazuma's room. I know that the bolt next to the door frame was ripped off, like partially jammed off. But even still, there's potential for something there, I swear. Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like
Inspector Hosonaga.
Is that you in there, Naruhodo-san? Unbolt the door, quickly. What? The bolt?
Look at that.
The door's bolted. Damn it. I spend all that time talking about this cool, neat little detail I happened to notice. And I'm like, oh yeah, I did real good there. Patting me on the back. Then immediately the game points it out to me for me. Son of a... I was supposed to notice. Come on. Did you do that, Susato-san?
No, I didn't touch it.
Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again.
Naruhodo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
I better tidy this place up first. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Just what was that ship? A new ship approached this one? The Burya? So we didn't find the little friend at all, huh? Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. The whole gang's here. You, what are you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This smells like shenanigans. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere.
This first-class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You wicked intruder, dressed all in black. You are the devil. Sorry? Me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. Where'd her hat go? You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector. Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. Is it not enough that he has killed a man?
And he is a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil.
Doesn't look good, does it?
There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Hosonaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately.
Ooh. Well, I don't think we can move, so... Yeah, we can't leave. Can't converse either, so let's look around. Let's look at this again. This door. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things. You want me to show you where crawfish hibernates?
Somehow that is the most threatening thing he said. Hiya! Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. I was just starting to think she was my friend. Isn't there anyone who can help me out of this mess? Well, let's appeal to the one voice of reason. You've got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened, I'll have to report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. I don't know what's ridiculous pose I was expecting him to be in, but it was not that! Oh, brother. No, let's just leave that for last. Please, just give me a little more time.
I do nothing for you, except show you way to ship's prison cell.
Thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent, I didn't kill anyone.
And trespassing and stowing away.
Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and well...
Enough. You are guilty. Ship's cell is only place fit for you.
Come on, there has to be someone. Some savior to rescue me from this crisis. Yeah, you get the picture. What the... What are you doing up there? Okay, this man is the embodiment of the holds up spork, I'm so random, LeMayo. But it's working for me, so I don't care. Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, why are you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again, the great detective. Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak.
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Burya, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh, great.
Huh, you have solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is this stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it.
I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because, as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Well, now it's making a bit more sense to me. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
The locked room, that is point.
The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. Oh, right, it was only, the bolt on the wall was only broken because they burst in there to find the body in the first place. That's right. So, if a sudden break locked it, it must have been a sudden break in the night somewhere, but when? There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance?
we never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man.
The ventilator?
You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole.
That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. It's not possible.
Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Precisely, my dear madame.
But what does it mean? What is this speckled band?
The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing?
There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold!
Kyag? What the... Snake friend.
Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the Speckled Band.
That's a striped band, thank you very much. A snake?
Indubitably.
Yeah, that's about right. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing.
Pray, what troubles you?
Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? You know, I just really appreciate that no one's worried about Stroganov right now. Just wrapped around his whole face.
You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly?
I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova?
I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me.
There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin.
Ah,
And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life.
no.
She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again.
Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asogi.
It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head.
I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that lawn friend in your neck. So, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular.
The Great Deduction, round 2.
Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain.
She was just looking at her hand.
And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. I just realized, is that a metal hook on the end of your hair? Is that a... No, that's just the lighting. That's her hair, I think.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back.
Oh, now that's a speckled band.
Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's slowed skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no?
I don't know what you are talking about.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slows its skin. A snake so dreadful, we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India.
Has she even been to India?
Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
Didn't he break his vertebra?
Now, if we take that as fact,
we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime.
Oh no, could there be?
Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend.
This makes no sense.
There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt.
You don't?
It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend.
Nah, she used the bell. It's that pink broken thing. It's the bell.
To train?
Indeed, you'd put the serpent through the ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training?
It's not true.
Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever.
Now I know Stroganov's voice is muffled. Boy, I really hope he can't hear this.
That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Snakes don't. They don't drink milk. They don't even nurse their young.
Incredible! You solved the mystery! Unfortunately, Ryunosuke, you only like this because it completely absolves you.
Amazing. Your great detection really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand.
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
But of course, what's on your mind?
It's just, about your deductions before, some things don't quite make sense to me.
I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
You are well informed, madame.
And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example, the logic holds.
Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal a snake by whistling.
Or with bells.
But madame, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless.
Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes.
There is one other thing.
You have more?
Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in these cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this.
He's so sad.
I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh no, you don't mean.
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try.
Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, right.
So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again.
What? You've done it again.
Your handcuffs are gone.
Where do they go?
Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done.
I really wish you'd leave them off.
Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present this Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Course correction.
Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain.
She does have a pained expression on her face.
Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then?
Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova.
Aching heart? Right ear? Left ear? Oh, hello. Claw scratch. God, okay. I know there's dialogue if I press A on all these parts of her. Do I really just... I need to make a decision. Oh. Hey, look at that photograph on the table. That's a little kitty. Little kitty cat. Neat. I need to make a decision. Do I really want to just read everything I can every time there's a deduction? Let's give it a shot. We'll see how I feel. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something dangling down from her ear. Ah, that's an earring. The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. It's charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Well, jewelry is beautiful, Naruhodo-san. We saw that. There's something attached to your ear. Ah, I expect that's what's called an earring. It's a little, yeah, but this one not made of wood. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. That's a good point. All that's left is the clasp part? Oh. She doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. The hell? Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah, they're identical. I thought it was just asymmetrical jewelry, but where did her right earring go? The hell? Anyway.
Yes!
Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Wait a goddamn second. Snakes don't have claws! Oh my god. Maybe when I said earlier that, well, it's not a rabbit or a dog, maybe it's a cat. My god. Did I have a point? Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch? Sometime last night. Ah. When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruhodo-san. That's where we'll find the answer. Right, it's clearly the portrait, but maybe it's the teapot. I have a feeling that it was this teapot that Miss Pavlova's eyes flickered over to before. You think this is the friend she's been talking about? Well, we're all different, aren't we? Whatever you might say about it, if that's the way she feels. I don't think I'll say anything about it then. You and that teapot can discuss it instead. Oh wait, that's not what I meant. Oh, brother.
There's no doubt, is there? She looked in this direction. Straight at Seaman Stroganoff.
Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. But I can't imagine how we could possibly fit through that ventilator.
Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Cosmo's trunk when we first boarded this ship.
I would ask what that proves, but I think an equivocal little smile would be more effective.
The more I look at this creature, the more its stripes stand out. It's a very impressive snake, isn't it?
Oh yes, it really is.
Like, I gotta admit, reptiles are my favorite kind of animal. I think snakes are really cool. Though I prefer lizards. Out of all reptiles, lizards are where it's at for me. Like little geckos, they're so cute.
And it seems to be doing its best to squeeze this poor sailor's head until it bursts.
Yes, it's a terrifying sight. And slightly heartwarming at the same time. Anyway, it would probably be a good idea not to get too close. Well, I'll be... The bell on its collar is shaped like a bell. Like a bell. A bell tower-ass bell. Oh. Sudden flashbacks to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Lots of bells. Very important bell in that game. Look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. Kitty! Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here.
Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruhodo-san, for the blackest outfit?
A black kitten. And from the looks of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it.
Yes!
Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on your back of your hand makes that abundantly clear.
Oh no.
The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you?
Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind.
Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. Who knows, maybe it got a dirty tail. That cat has a very long tail. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night?
No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin.
Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hidden behind her back.
If she just left it in her pocket, no one would ever have known.
Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Shulman's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too.
Anyway, I find it hard to believe that that's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? There's something in there. What is that? Also, yeah, that's hair. That's totally hair. It's wider than the rest of her blonde hair. Interesting. Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but... Oh... Oh, that's right! That's a ribbon! Yeah, dancers use ribbons in their... Oh, that... Wow. Man, I completely forgot until just now. What is it? It seems to be soft and fluffy. A long piece of cloth of some sort. Oh, I get it. The cat must have jumped into Cosma's room, so she dangled the ribbon through the ventilator to try and lure it back like a cat toy. Oh, that's so clever! And that looks like a handle on one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently. Oh. Was that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it.
That sounds positively adorable.
Yes!
Yes, that thing you are trying, but failing to conceal, is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band.
Ah!
It's not a ribbon. Okay. And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waited around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return.
Ah!
In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka.
Kyog!
A truly troublesome feline young Darka is proving to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. Wow, edited evidence. Neat.
It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty.
A beloved kitten. But how to solve part 2? How Asogi died? Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. Well, as much as I would love to wrap up this deduction here in one video, it's not to be. We just now, at just this second, rolled over to the 1 hour mark, so That's Ace Attorney for ya. You feel like a genius one second and a complete dumbass the next. I do so enjoy theorizing, though, but the very fact that I do that makes me feel a lot like Herlock here, so... Sure, I guess. I suppose I have something in common with him. Fine. You know, out of every Ace Attorney character that I've met so far, you know, honestly, the one I think I have the most similarity to is Gumshoe. Yeah, Dick Gumshoe. I never really know what's going on around me, but my heart's in the right place. Yeah, that's me, I think. I miss Gumshoe, though. Hosanaga's great, but Gumshoe's number one in my heart when it comes to detectives, I'll say that. Anyway, anything else to say? Well, I will say this, I think it won't be too long at all after this deduction that we might actually be moving to the first trial session. We're gonna land in Hong Kong, so maybe that's where the trial will take place, and Ryunosuke would defend himself again. It'll be interesting to visit a Chinese court, but at the same time, that's curious. Tradition dictates that in this second case we're gonna meet the prosecutor, the one that Ryunosuke is gonna butt heads with for every future trial, in this game at least. It seems pretty clear to me that Case 3 and onward will be set in Britain. Maybe the final case, maybe a Case 5 perhaps, would maybe come back to Japan, I don't know. So, you know, who knows? If Ryunosuke can travel across nations, then surely a prosecutor could too. Yeah, I'm quite excited to see who the next prosecutor is, because Ouchie, aka Winston Payne, is fun and all, but I want someone with more bite to him, you know? So, who knows, maybe we'll run into them next time. That'll be fun. Anyway, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.